expand your world and realize every challenge that's ever been brought to me has made me more. I've become more so I can serve more, so I can enjoy more. That's why we're here in this life, to bring more good, more great, to bring insight, to bring strength, to bring action. That's why we're here.
Welcome to the Tony Robbins Podcast. You're listening to an episode that's part of a special season on contribution, Force for Good. We're exploring the 10 gifts of life: emotion, drive, growth, joy, gratitude, connection, consciousness, grace, presence, and forgiveness. You'll hear Tony explain each gift and hear stories of true heroes that illustrate how they show up in real life. We hope you enjoy this episode on the power of growth.
I'm sitting there and I'm looking at just a bed sheet. I'm thinking that I'm in the hospital just like everybody else. And my wife breaks it to me that I've lost both legs. Both legs have been taken away from me while I'm in a coma. And I wake up to find out they're not there anymore. Tragedy can sometimes become the greatest classroom that you'll ever be able to attend. And this particular one taught me so much. I never advocate war. I never advocate being in a conflict with another country. But I will say this, for me, it taught me so much, and was given the opportunity to learn and grow and be better because of the tragedy.
That's Cedric King. He's a retired U.S. Army Master Sergeant, a father, husband, and a triathlete. He's also a double amputee. In 2012, during his third deployment, Cedric's platoon conducted a mission in an Afghan village. As they approached the target, they fell under machine gun fire. And once the firefight ended, Cedric stepped on a pressure plate improvised explosive device, or an IED, which have caused nearly half of all U.S. deaths in operational war zones in Afghanistan and Iraq. Cedric sustained severe damage to his right hand, causing disfigurement, and both of his legs were lost. It was an accident that changed his entire life, and it made him question his identity. But today, nearly 8 years after his accident, Cedric says that if he had the choice, he would do it all over again. You might be wondering, why would someone ever say something like that? It's because even through all of his physical pain and suffering, Cedric experienced tremendous personal growth and a shift in mindset that he says has made him a better man today. In this episode, you're going to hear how Cedric gave up the expectations he had about his life to rise above his tragedy and accomplish incredible physical feats. And another story from a man named Richie Harcum, whose devastating motorcycle accident pushed him to grow even more and give more than he could ever imagine. But before we hear more from Cedric and Richie, here's what Tony has to say about growth and why it's important that all of us, no matter the setbacks we face, continue to grow so that we can give.
Hey, welcome back. This week, we want to talk about one of the most important gifts of all, the gift of growth. It's an extraordinary gift because when you look at what makes people really feel alive, there's very few things that compete with growing and, of course, giving. Those two go together. If you're going to have something to give, though, that's unique, that's special, that's important, it's got to be something you've experienced. We can't give to someone something else we don't have. You can't inspire others if you're not inspired. You can't touch others if you've not been touched. You can't move somebody if you've not been moved. And where does growth come from? First of all, without it, life feels pretty dead inside. We're all trying to mark something that gives us a sense of aliveness. People ask me all the time, what does it really take to be happy, Tony? You work with people all over the earth, tens of millions of people. I'm sure you've seen miserable people. There's plenty of those. What really makes somebody happy? And I can give it to you in one word: progress. Progress equals happiness. Literally, if you make some giant goal, think of a goal you achieved and you were so excited about. Now, a lot of goals, I'm sure you've experienced this too. Did you ever achieve a goal and then after you achieve it said, is this all there is? Where it's like all this buildup and just not the fulfillment? But even better than that, what about something where you achieved something that you worked so hard for and you were so excited and you were so happy? How long did you stay happy? Did you stay happy for a year? 5 years, 10 years? Did you stay happy for 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days? Did you stay happy for 6 hours? I mean, most people's happiness lasts somewhere between, say, 6 hours and maybe 60 days. Most people don't stay happy about anything for a year, do they? And so you got to think to yourself, why don't I stay happy? I work so hard at this. Why doesn't it stay fulfilled? Because life is not about you just getting your goals. My teacher, Jim Roast, used to say something that was so profound when I was 17 years old, never forgot it. He said, listen to me. He said, what you get will never make you happy. Doesn't matter what you get. who you become. That'll make you very happy or very sad. See, ultimately, we have challenges so that we can grow, and we have growth so we have something to give. And it's the giving that makes us feel alive and the growing that makes us feel alive. Without progress, human beings don't do well. Listen, if you're 30 pounds overweight, or your relationship is so far from what you want it to be, you don't know what to do, or your economics are completely messed up, and you just start to make some progress, you start to work out, even if you haven't lost any weight yet, you're gonna start feeling better. As you start to do something to deal with that relationship, even if it's painful, you're gonna feel the sense of progress. You start to do something around your finances, even if you're not there yet. As you start to lose weight, as you start to get momentum, you're gonna feel that sense of growth and aliveness, and it'll be as strong and maybe even more than when you actually achieve it, which will not last. The reason is we're not made to sit at the table of success too long. If you do that, you'll be bored. Do you know how many of my friends that I've seen that built their companies up over 20, 30 years, sold it for $500 million, $1 billion, whatever the number was, ridiculous numbers. And they're happy usually for about 30, 90 days. And then it's like, man, I need something that's meaningful, that challenges, that makes me feel alive. I can only sit on my boat or on the beach or drink daiquiris or whatever it is, or chase boys or girls for so long before it's like life has to have a deeper meaning. And so if you don't grow consciously, here's the challenge part. Life will show up and give you something to grow from. So there's this imperative that progress is everything. And when I say progress, it can be incremental progress. It doesn't have to be giant. It's the incremental progress that you do consistently that leads to those giant rewards. See, success is not an overnight thing. You know that as well as I do. Neither is failure. It's failure to make the call. It's failure to say, I love you. It's failure to step up and tell the truth. It's failure to all these little things that create failure. And success, fulfillment, aliveness is not one thing you did one time. It's all the little things. It's saying I love you. It's stepping up. It's doing what's right, even when no one else rewards you. Those little things are the things that make you grow, and that growth is what makes you feel alive. Listen, there's only one set of laws in the universe. Everything grows or it dies. And everything ultimately contributes or it's eliminated by evolution, if nothing else. So the imperative for you and I is to understand that growth isn't always easy. In fact, the easy stuff rarely makes you grow. Listen, there is no failure as long as you learn something, because that learning leads to growth. That growth leads to something where you can build something, create something, or give something to yourself, others, your family, or to have something that's meaningful. So where are you not growing that you could make some progress on this week? Just tackle one thing. Is it your body? Is it your relationship? Is it your level of happiness? That's growth. Just to find happiness or joy or meaning in difficult situations. Those types of progresses